Welcome guys to Viper+TaToH against Nicov and Liereyy. At the moment we're Viper+TaToH leading 3-1, but the fifth game it was 2 points. The winner takes it all for $200. So if Viper+TaToH win, they lead 5-1. If Liereyy and Nicov win this one, we will have the score of 3-3 and they will play another 2v2 to decide for everything. Let's take a look. We are obviously playing Arabia again with hidden, no, not hidden, team random civilizations. So let's take a look into this one and how the maps are looking. TaToH got the Aztecs. On the other side we have the Viper with this slash, so that could be an interesting matchup. On the other side we have Nicov playing the green Aztecs, and we have Liereyy playing the Slavs. That's a weird combination of colors. That is, what do you mean we will play the qualifier? Just win it and qualify. Yeah, but I need to play in it first, right? Loving the 1v1 and 2v2 in the same series? Yeah, so do I. Okay, so what will we see? Obviously, Aztecs, kind of the civilization that needs to go into crossbowman, and the Slavs, the knights, if you want to go for your typical crossman knights 2v2 composition. But with Aztecs, you could also go for a lot of monks maybe, and move them, switch them in, get some pressure done, or maybe even some eagles. We will see how this will, turn out here, how they will play. Let's take a bit of a look at the maps. Liereyy will pretty unfortunate spot there in the back. At the front, he probably will go for those. And Liereyy actually starting with the mill before lumber camp, because his wood line is so bad. TaToH has a beautiful, beautiful map here with the Aztecs. Close wood, defensive gold. Cannot wall that much though, so only the positioning of those two things. Mill, actually one child away. Interesting stuff. And Viper, close wood line, defensive gold. Pretty sweet for him as well. Berries in the open, but close enough so that he won't really complain. On the other side with Nicov already walling again. That's quite weird. Mario actually said that if Liereyy and Nicov win, they play another 2v2, otherwise they won 2 games and are 5 in the golden Showmatch. That's what I said. Yeah, but that's what I said as well. Lily, where are you from? Germany! Where's this villager going? Oh, some walls as well. Probably wants a wall over here, and yeah, we are kind of expecting the Slavs to go for scouts first. The Aztecs player going for either M&A aggression or maybe instantly archers. That would be quite interesting though. Oh! Yeah, what a horrible, horrible lure by TaToH here. What was he doing? Look at that. Mass of low HP villagers, mass idle time as well. That looked horrible. Now going for the barracks. Loop now for Liereyy flying in. So he will probably go up, and what are those villagers doing? Is he trying to get for that wood line? Why isn't he just building another lumber camp over here? I think that makes a bit more sense to me. Whoa, very open map for him. Pretty ugly to play this one. Yeah, walling over here really helps him a bit. And if he builds like barracks, stable, house, he will kind of control this area, and then it's not that bad, but still feels pretty ugly. Viper zoning out his map quite nicely at the front. Needs to wall that top though. And oh, TaToH is going for the trash here with the Aztecs, it seems. I was actually following this up by a quick fuel age as well. Seems to be the new standard here. Oh, what am I missing? Maybe squeezing in some loom? Now going to the front, and yeah, this is trash into Too late aggression. Pretty sweet stuff. Same thing that Liereyy did in his 1v1. Do you have to adjust the BO on those African maps? I believe so. Since the elephants have more food, you can delay farms a bit more. You can build a bit more militias as well. This is on Rubli. And I believe we are in medieval siege. Elephants are doing more damage? No, I don't think so. I think that was only in the first version of the Boa maps. I think they changed that. Oh, the villager actually should survive here. No biggie. And TaToH? See? Oh, closing down the distance, and that villager will die. And the stable is denied quite nicely. What a good start here for TaToH. Getting some damage done. Maybe focus down on the scout now. That's what he should do, because villager HP isn't really important now. Actually, he's denying that quite nicely. Focus back on the scout. TaToH. Was he thinking he can get the villager? Oh, get the scout. That's a pretty nice attack by TaToH here. Losing, yeah, actually is all 3 militia, but still. Kill the scout, kill the villager, and delayed the stable quite a bit. And now they're reaching, actually it's kind of at the same time, double bit X for TaToH. And I expect 2 archery ranges out of him. On the other side, we have the Viper going for the stable and scouts. And Nicov kind of plays it as if his enemy is to the south. With his archery range placement and the walls. Okay, well. Now he's warding that side as well. That makes sense. They adjusted the elephants for the map. Yeah, I think so. Like, they weren't that strong in HD, were they? Well, like, they are the same now. A lot of people complained, and I think it really pushed the random factor of the games. So I like that they became normal boars, but with more food. Okay. Nicov just walled Liereyy out. I can't wait to see him manual Liereyy CC. Unlikely that will really happen. Archer's now coming over. So they are trying to double TaToH first, which is, I believe, not the right decision. I believe normally you want to double the guy who's going for scouts, not the guy who's going for archers. But if they have a lot of control of those archer areas, then, well, kind of makes sense as well. And now TaToH and Viper kind of trying to go over here and to get the aggression done. And oh, it seems like Viper will squeeze in. But we see 3 spearmen out. This should be super fine for him. Now the big engagement here in the middle. Is Liereyy taking this engagement? It seems like yes he is. The archers are helping out as well. And TaToH's losing hell of a lot of his army. I don't think that he should really run there. He just needs to fight. And that were some losses for him. Suddenly military count 14 to 23. Let's take a look if the AM guys can do the damage. If they can really pressure this. But TaToH already walled himself in quite nicely. His defensive gold, as we mentioned earlier. And TaToH is just fine. Liereyy is continuing with his aggression as well, though. And Viper is coming down. Oof. Oh, Nicov shouldn't really rush in there. Viper has bloodlines and +1 defense, so he can take a reasonable fight here for sure. If he wants to do that, he is showing. Oh, TaToH is actually opening. Oh god, Nicov could just run in. What is going on here? Viper is trying to squeeze around. Okay, now they are clearing this, or are they? Nicov is just focusing down TaToH as it seems. And yeah, we'll lose all his archers though. The Viper was a pretty sweet clear up, and that's the beauty of the slabs. You just have so incredible amount of food. Still left Nicov with 2 HP here. Up. And that's cleared up. Viper. Nice farm eco here for sure. And now switching on to gold. Where is his main gold? Why is he not going for his main gold? What's wrong with that? Weird stuff. Okay, now actively walling this area. Don't really want to get doubled. Didn't see a lot of army of Nicov in quite some time. Yeah, he just killed that one, but that started quite early. Weber seems to be a good timing now. There is still no upgrades except bloodlines on his scouts. The Viper with a +1 defense. Necessary defensive tower here by Nicov. Let's take a look. Can Nicov get the quick walls done? Are they even important? Good stuff. Viper up, Liereyy is up. So the 2 archer guys, Nicov and TaToH, still waiting a bit, but Nicov is up now as well. Let's switch into the point of view of TaToH. He has 500 food and yeah, a lot of villagers working quite efficiently on that gold spot here as well. So that looks like he can click up pretty soon as well. But I'd say AM in a better situation. Slowing down the game a bit now. TaToH finally up, but that will be a solid timing window from over 1 minute, where I believe the AM guys could maybe do something. The army of Nicov now coming over, and then they will try to double. And Liereyy and Viper, I believe that's a spot where actually both of them could really go for a light cav even. An upgrade that we don't see too often. That many scouts still left and a lot of HP on them as well. It only makes sense to me. Viper coming over. Is he seeing the army? Let's switch into his point of view. And he missed the army. But maybe with some luck he can squeeze something in. They're going aggressively against TaToH now. Take a look how this goes. Light cav upgrade for Liereyy indeed. The Viper staying with the scouts for now. TaToH, will he save his army? Can he get all the upgrades done? Nicov obviously getting all the upgrades. The Viper, 2 stables and husbandry now for him. Trying to snag those down. I believe the wards will fall. Maybe should even... Oh! Is the Viper letting this one go? Oh, this looks like TaToH needs to run desperately. Did he delete his wards there? Yes, he did. Trying to squeeze in. Villager needs to close the gap. Okay. TaToH bought himself enough time. Pretty beautiful stuff there. And now all the attacks will go over there, I assume. Maybe an aggressive siege workshop could be a thing here for Mr. Liereyy. Crossman around. TaToH needs to pull all his villagers. And where is his other wood line? It's non-existent. TaToH desperately needs help from the Viper. The Viper though going for a lot of upgrades. As you can see here, +1, +2, and bloodlines already researched. Now squeezing in light cav as well, heavy plow. He's going for all the right things. But Nicov, he's controlling the hill quite nicely. Let's take a look. We could see a very important fight in this situation. Camping the hill. Oh god, that's a lot of losses. TaToH, that was costly. TaToH now at 41 villagers, sending over a lot of villagers here. What's this team's strategy here, Liereyy? Uh-oh. What are they deciding? They're splitting up. I believe that's not the right decision. Nicov will lose everything. And this looks like the Tyrant plebs will take a reasonable engagement. They will have more army, but that's obviously only reasonable. The fight still okay for the AMs, I believe. They have the heal advantage. Crossman at the right-hand side dying. The Knights at the left-hand side taking a reasonable engagement as well. Seems like they have all the reasonable upgrades. Liereyy going for the +2/+2. Even beautiful splits over here. Taking more hill control. Nicov actually doing quite a nice dance there against TaToH. And this looks better for the AM guys than I thought. What a sick thing here. And oh boy, crossman of Nicov all died, but so many more Knights of Liereyy left. I didn't expect that. He could maybe even go for the kill against TaToH here. This was a beautiful engagement for the AM guys, but now all the Knights obviously very low. TaToH could go for some kills. He has ballistics here as well, and trying to catch up with villagers now. Very even game here, guys. This could go on for quite some time. On the street, now defensively, Nicov sending more army over as well. Take a look at the ecos. 3 TCs up and running for Nicov. The Viper should be looking into the same number. TaToH, 3 TCs for him. This is the standard numbers. Obviously, we have enough stone to build exactly 2 extra TCs. Liereyy could maybe be the first one to go for 4. No even game. AM ahead so far, if you say so. Ooh, that's a lot of Knights still. TaToH needs to micro this. Viper fighting the Knights off. It seems like TaToH's micro is good enough there. And AM is retreating. TaToH trying to chase down together with the Viper. Did he add some more stables? Indeed, he is doing that right now. So having the important thoughts of feeling okay. Very low eco overall, but people didn't wall themselves completely. That's normally a time where adding military is quite a good idea. And TaToH going for the aggressive siege workshop now. Didn't get a lot of villager kills. Something he could have went for. Will get, I believe, like 4-ish. Oh god! How did they dodge? Okay, it was only 3. Hill advantage now for Liereyy. He's closing down the distance. TaToH is trying to squeeze in the forest here. Only 5 crossmen in the back, and if they get sniped down, TaToH will just have a very great position here. And the Viper even got the monk there. Beautiful micro. TaToH in a nice spot here, and that's just way more efficient than Liereyy would love to see. Crossmen only now from Nicov around to do the damage. And this siege workshop, maybe a bit too ballsy for TaToH. I don't think that he can build a lot out of this here. Let's maybe take a quick peek through the resources. The Viper heavily on his farm eco and keeps on producing Knights. So everything kind of as expected. But maybe send some more villagers on that gold spot. On the other side we have Liereyy. Continuing with his Knight production as we kind of expecting. We have Nicov not going with Knight production. 2 archer ranges only, but on the way to Imperial Age. I don't really like that he's out on the map now with his crossmen. I think he should just keep them together. And the question is, what should he really go for? Feels like crossman is his favorite choice. Walling the map a bit, that's something I absolutely love. Trying to set up the trade in the long run. And this feels like Arbalest for Nicov. And more archer ranges. So yes, indeed, he will stay on Arbalest. Let's run to the last player, TaToH. He is very far away from ever reaching Imperial Age. Heavily queuing up his TC still. They want to do the damage now. Liereyy needs to move some villagers away. Oh, some small losses. Oh, actually, we'll lose each and every one of them. We got 4 archer ranges. Maybe needed them a bit earlier. Love those walls. Thinking about the very long game. Maybe wall this area as well. And then have the better trade. Defensive tower of Liereyy. Actually, very nicely positioned. Defensive TC helps out as well. And now we could see another big engagement. Let's see 2 monks. Should get some converts done. Nicov not having a lot of firepower in the back there. So Liereyy is fighting someone on his own at the moment. The tower still helping out. Magnus in the back doing massive damage as well. And some converts for Liereyy as well. Magnet number 1 down, Magnet number 2 now going down as well. But TaToH still has a lot of damage output here. Viper sending more and more units over, but not enough gold as it seems, because he's mixing in quite a bit of light cap, and Nicov is just losing all his army shortly before Imperial. I'm not 100% sure if I like that too much. This was a pretty beautiful timing here for the Tyrant plebs. Nicov indeed is going for Bracer, Arbalest and Chemistry. That's so weird. That's so weird that he just lost all his army. Why did they take this engagement shortly before Nicov had everything upgraded? Felt so weird, especially because he had the villager in DC. He had the tower up. He didn't, oh god, but still losing some more villagers here at the farms. I think AM should have played this more defensively. That's a lot of stables. Production of Viper heavily continues. And TaToH is clicking up to Imperial any second now as well. Liereyy, heavy losses here, pop 90 for him. The rest in the 130s. And the question is Aztec Arbalest really the unit you want to go for? And the damage output is still strong, but I believe they're lacking the last defense upgrade. Obviously not, the mobility isn't that great. And TaToH already is at the front. Oh, gets 2 beautiful converts in as well. And Liereyy, that was a big waste here. Maybe it was even 3 converts. Am I confused? It might have even been 3 converts. And Liereyy in a world of pain. Getting raided in the back as well. His Fudico looks in shambles. Now getting raided by Aztec Knights as well. Starting the trade is Mr. TaToH. And getting some aggression over at the right hand side. Maybe is the Viper trying to block the farms there. Nicov, well, he will not die obviously, but the big question is what will Liereyy do? Not looking too great for him at the moment. This is absolute world class here. Probably the 4 players all in the top 10 of the world at the moment. Arguably Viper number 2 and Nicov for Liereyy number 2. Viper number 1. Liereyy Nicov number 2. Maybe TaToH a bit behind, but on such a world-class level, that's so tough to say. Select Thumpering. Ah, that makes them so bad. Okay, conscription now on the way for Nicov. Is he transitioning into something? TaToH at least is transitioning into Eagles here. And oh, those Arbalests are getting sniped down. What is the Viper doing? He could have taken those out quite easily. Okay. Maybe Mangonel can even get a shot off, or Castle's up as well. Ay. Nicov now needs to run. Point lead switching back and forth. Everyone will be imp, but Liereyy in less than 30 seconds. Less than a minute. Let's call that way. But Liereyy is now clicking up as well. But that's a lot of wasted Arbalest here for Nicov. Fighting on that castle. They see the tech switch though. Now the question is, what is better? Cavalier Arbalest or Cavalier Eagles? Tough to say. Obviously, if you can decide, okay, we're fighting at one point, having some range units in the back is quite nice, but the mobility for the Tyrants would be so much better, but that's probably why Nicov is transitioning into Eagles himself now. Trade. Start for TaToH. Oh, misplaced market. That hurts. Okay, Garland Wars now for Nicov, so that's quite nice and early. And that will be pretty sweet for the pikeman as well. Cavaliers with 99 villages is worse. Yeah, that's true. And obviously heavily under-upgraded. 30 military for him. The Viper at 40, but Nicov still at 80, and he should be starting to sling if you ask me. TaToH still with some Arbalest as well. The Warriors not having the greatest upgrades as well. And that's a beautiful hill for the AM guys. And they are doing quite a bit of damage. Viper actually pulling that knight back. Not 27 HP. Oh, and now they're going for the attack, and Liereyy has very little here. Did get some storm walls up, and he needs to go back and defend this, but this will be so tough because the Viper obviously will have, yeah, all the upgrades on them. The walls are so important for Liereyy that they went up. Take a look, can you get some more quick walls up? What is his plan? Oh god, and it was open in between the monastery. Something I didn't see as well. Lierey's trying to chase it down at the same time. Nicov is retreating as well. They know, oh god, we lost this advantage now. We lost this hill because the Viper did a beautiful run by, and you can see instantly he's building castle here. 109 villagers for Liereyy, and he needs to chase this down now. This will be tough. I think we absolutely need to see another wall here, Liereyy, and he's not getting those up. Another fail, sadly, when it comes to the walls, and he isn't the guy who takes those fails in the walls too lightly. Losing quite a bit of villagers. Pop 130. The rest is slowly walking towards being maxed out. Nicov needs to defend the front. He's going for more upgrades there on the defense standpoint. Yeah, he will hold eventually, but with so many losses, 80 villagers only for him. Nicov, where is your sling? Where is your trade setup as well, guys? Just a bit slower than the Tyrants, who already have 17 trade cuts compared to the 0 for now. But Nicov, can he maybe hold this for the team? Oh, fletching now for the Viper. Why? Was it maybe a misclick? Like that Liereyy is going for the storm ward. Would maybe even love to see them earlier. Phew, stabilizing time, 4 AM. They need to get Liereyy onto pop 200 first. Garland walls for TaToH. And they will push this so heavily. We need more stone walls. Nicov, soon to be fully upgraded. We need to get more walls up. Arbalists are doing a good job. Maybe they could help out over here as well. And they need to fall back here. They need to defend this at the moment. Still the Tyrant plebs in full situation of moving in here. Oh, Warriors trying to get some raids done. Cavaliers awaiting them, but not enough. And he's sending in more. And that's actually pretty solid. TaToH? Oh, he's missing the last attack upgrade and now going for C-Trap. And that's a lot of losses here by TaToH. I'm not 100% sure if the Immortal rate is really the option, but oh, that army is not really working too well for Nicov here. And Liereyy just getting graded over and over again. Pop 110 for him. Nicov. Where is the sling? Where is the sling? Look at that resources. At those resources. Those were in the hands of Liereyy. He could have way better chances to get to pop 200 than on his own. And yeah, I believe the Slav in him makes so much more sense. TaToH telling a lot of wood, and those are more and more raids. The AM guys kind of struggling to stabilize at the moment. Stone walls trying to be built here, but well, Ram already there. Eagles getting the raids done as well. That will be denied for sure. And yeah, oh God, look at that beautiful positioning. And the Viper with those 3 castles make that 4 castles. Would think about switching into Boyar as well. Setting up a lot of trade. Now you can see the big problem with that market. The distance is not the most important thing, but all the trade cards will go to the right-hand side market and will bump into each other quite a bit more. We pop 110, did clear this up at this left-hand side, but is getting more raids in the back, and this is so ugly. Why did he never think about building a GC in the back here? This would have been so much better for him. Nicov still trying to hold on to dear life for Liereyy here, who is only sitting at 75 villagers. Military count 24 for him. Viper not that much higher though. I believe Boyar is now the go-to unit in this game. And yeah, as you can see, the Viper even researched Lead Boya already. Finally, some tribute to Mr. Liereyy, that he can get onto some more army. Trade amount at the moment, 21 to whooping 70 already here for the Tyrants. No last tech upgrade for Nicov here on his infantry as well, but those Eagles are now coming over. I don't think that Eagles will perform well against Boyars later on, so that will be an interesting thing for sure. And Slav, maybe if he goes for the super sick composition, they could even go for some Scorpions if they wanted to against all this, but well, that's something we don't need to think about just yet. It's just mass Boya on the Chile area. No upgrades on the HP here. So that's something he should maybe think about by pushing in that central area. And what do they have as an answer here? I don't really think they are well enough set up for that. Liereyy, can you call this stabilizing? Pop 130 for him. 84 villagers, but Nicov lost so many villagers as well. He is at pop 180, but that's mainly because his AD army is still carrying his numbers. Markets are producing as they should. Still endless amount of foods. Let's take a look at Liereyy's food. He is quite well set up there as well. I think they need to use the market to maybe get onto Hussars and take better engagement. TaToH now even switching onto pikemen as well. I think he should mainly go for the sling on the Boya guy, if you ask me, but not the most important thing. Those walls need to be deleted so that the trade isn't running through this choke point over and over again. Let's take a look, trying to take an engagement here. Liereyy pop 150, Nico is pop limit as well, and they are stabilizing this game, guys. It's pretty solid. TaToH will lose all his aggression here with all the rams. Now pikemen's going forward. Let's take a look. Nicov still didn't catch up with the last attack upgrade. But the Viper will be so annoying here. And if he gets 40 Boyars, how can AM stop this? I believe they can't. I'm now coming over. I believe that's not really the amount that you want to fight with. So, kind of a waste. But TaToH took a quite reasonable engagement over here. And Liereyy, he needs some help against pikemen. Because for now, his eco with only farms is only set up to go for, well, Hussar actually, but doesn't even have to go for that upgrade. So at the moment he's going for light cav exclusively. Nicov not helping enough. He needs to defend in the center here as well. Nicov now going for elimination as the first upgrade. That's something we don't see too often. Uh-oh, Liereyy in some troubles here. Not a lot of defense, and the numbers are getting pretty low for him as well. Military count 12 only, and that's only plummeting. TaToH with a pretty big push. Viper's numbers on military pretty low as well, but that's mainly because he was focusing heavily onto trade, as it seems. 70 are his numbers now on that trade card count, and that looks just pretty solid. Just needs to fall back, wait for his production, and then should overrun Nicov, because he's still lacking the class 8 as well. And Rams now. Booyah production started for Liereyy. Interesting. Well, probably somewhat desperate. I believe Cavaliers should be better than normal Class 8 Booyahs, right? I'm not sure. Nico forget +2? What? He did not. Okay, hoardings for the Viper, and that's what I said. Didn't need some HP upgrade, and now Viper can just control over this. His eco is running. He did set up his eco so beautifully, and with very little military out, but still should be a very deadly army. Maybe would even love to see like 5 Scorpions mixed in. And the other side, TaToH is pushing over Liereyy that doesn't have any gold income either. Liereyy at the moment 25 trade cuts, so he's trying to set himself up, but that's not really going to work. And Liereyy pop 140, Mr. Nicov pop 130, and this means the GG is around the corner. Tyrant Plebs with now Mass Booyah, Mass Eagle Warriors are running over AM. I believe it came all down to that one big engagement that they lost just shortly because before Nicov had all his Imperial upgrades. When they were knocking at the gold spot here of Liereyy, they needed to play this a bit more calmly, and after that they were just so far behind. And this is the 5-1 because this game did count for 2 points, so could have ended in a draw. And Viper and TaToH will get the $200 in their pocket, so sweet stuff for them. And one village here. Aye. Okay, thanks so much guys for watching this series, and it was a nice show match. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Let's take a quick peek at the achievements. Liereyy just losing so many villagers over and over again. Aye. Tough spot for him. And yeah, therefore the full eco just so dominant for our Slav player. The trade was just set up so much earlier as well. What a convincing performance. I love that.